Thanks for joining us once again for your update from the city of New Hope. Time to weekly chat with the mayor, John Elder. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Dave?
I am very good. We're recording this on February 10th, and that means a council meeting coming up this evening as of this recording. Give us a quick preview, although that meeting's coming up quickly. What do you expect to see on the agenda tonight that might take a few more minutes?
Yeah, it's one of the more exciting things is we are going to be appointing a number of people to our community, or strike that, our Citizens Advisory Commission, as well as our Human Rights Commission. And these are people that are involved in the city, live or work in the city, and they are volunteering their time to help keep city of New Hope great and keep things on track and bringing in new perspectives and ideas. The council doesn't have time to do all of the investigative, all of the digging into every one of the issues. So we fall back sometimes on our commissions to help us with that. Community members that can look into items and provide direction or suggestions to the council on how it should go. So it's very, very helpful. And again, it's advisory. The council makes the decision, but we weigh very heavily on what our commissions tell us.
Thanks to all those who are getting involved in that way. And then one item under development and planning, and that has to do with improving things under the ground, I understand, and on the ground. What's coming up?
Yep, there's going to be a presentation for the planning and specs for our upcoming infrastructure project for 2025. And Stan Tech is working with our Public Works Division and Abdo, our financial folks, to make sure that we're able to do the most we can for our money and make sure that, our roads and infrastructure remain safe and very functional.
We'll keep residents updated as those plans are approved. Now let's look at some other things happening in the city. A quick update on community development and on scattered site housing. A lot of activity here, as you might expect, as we start to get closer to spring. First property is 5410 Wisconsin. Give us a little update there and potential use by police and fire departments.
Absolutely. When we get these homes that we purchase, a lot of times we will use those homes for training, whether it be for our SWAT team, whether it be for our police department, whether it be for our fire department. We utilize these properties for training. And if the home isn't going to cause a fire danger to surrounding structures, they will go in and they will start fires and have the fire department come in and put it out. And then what they will do, and I was lucky enough to participate in this as I'm a state licensed fire arson investigator, is you then go in and try to determine what caused that fire. And they're able to videotape it for training purposes. And so it really is a great use of the building prior to demolition. As far as police training goes, you'd want to train in all sorts of different environments. If you continue to train at the same training center, you know where every wall is, you know where every nook and cranny is, you know where every hiding place is. When you're getting into these new surroundings, these are the things that really help train officers in proper entry and searching and all of that. So again, just great use of the properties, and all three of the entities that I mentioned appreciate the ability to use these spaces.
Next property to update residents on a scattered site is 5410 Zeeland, and I understand you have some builders that are very interested in that property.
Yeah, this is an exciting time as we buy the property and then we do the trainings in it, and then we move forward to raising the structure and preparing the land and all that. This is where it really starts getting fun. And this is looking at the development of the home that's going to be there. And we have three builders that have submitted three separate um, plans for what they would be building there and what the cost would be. We're expecting demolition on this house on Zealand to start towards the end of March, and it'll take about a week to complete. So, coming up, we'll be looking at the proposals by the builders on February 24th at our EDA meeting. And EDA is the Economic Development Authority, and that's the group that has the authority to spend the money and to do this.
Final property to touch base on is 6048 Quebec, and this is one where the agreement process to purchase that property looks like is about done.
Yep, this an agreement has been looks like an agreement has been reached for the purchase of this home, contingent on the approval again of the EDA. And this is really important to the residents in that area because this had been a problem property. And the police were there a great deal. There were a lot of complaints from neighbors, and this is a going to be a demolition and rebuild project, and that will be going before the EDA on February 24th. So we're excited to get this going. We're excited to be able to provide relief to the residents in that area. And our police department and community development and city manager, city clerk were outstanding through this process and really serving the needs of the people in that area.
One final item in community development. This is a business property, a building permit and inspection, 7300 42nd Avenue. We all know of the building there. It looks like it has a new use coming.
It absolutely does. We will be looking at permits and inspections for that building. That building was a former funeral home, and there's going to be a neighborhood deli and grocery going in there. In half of the building, the other half is going to be an adult daycare. And we're really seeing that we have some of those services in town. However, as the population is aging, we're having more and more needs for that. So there haven't been any permits issued as of yet, but we continue to work towards making this happen.
Very good. We'll keep residents up to date. Let's hop to the police department. A couple items to update on here. The first has to do with Explorers, and give us a little background on Explorers first of all, and then what was this recent activity?
You bet. The Explorer program is part of what was Boy Scouts of America. And I know they just recently changed their names. We just call them Scouts. And this is for people that are interested, for kids that are interested in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. I started out in an Explorer program when I was 15 and worked my way up through that program, went on to become a reserve, a community service officer, and then officer. And so this is a great way for kids who are interested in this to be able to look and say, hey, this is for me or this isn't for me, as well as to be able to be part of the department and to learn police procedures. And it's really a hands-on thing. It's a very, very big program throughout the state of Minnesota. They have annual conferences where they go down and show their skills in traffic stops, domestic handling, things like that. And so the cities of New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale work together to share one post. And it's new as of last year, and it's going very, very well. We're very proud of the youth, and we enjoy working with them.
Something else also going well in the police department is engagement through Meals on Wheels. So again, remind us how this activity works, that the police are out delivering meals to people at homes.
Yep, it's through SEEP up in Brooklyn Center, and once a week we send an officer or reserve officer up. They pick up the meals and they have a list of who to deliver them to, and they go and they deliver them to their door. And these are people that have mobility issues, people that are unable to cook for themselves. And so, they have a Mark squad pull up and they bring them their hot meal. or cold meal, depending on their preference,
Right.
and beverage, and they deliver it to the people that normally would not be able to eat. So we're excited to be a part of this program and very, very proud of the police department for continuing their activities with that.
I'm sure offers a little excitement for the residents seeing the police car drive up and some of the neighbors saying, "What was that police car doing at your home today?" Oh, it
Absolutely.
was delivering a meal.
Absolutely. Yep.
Very
No,
good.
great program.
Speaking of driving on the roads, police also involved in defensive driving. And I understand this is also a co-op with Park and Rec as well. Tell us about some of those courses that have happened.
It is. Officer Brad Callio, our community engagement officer for the City of New Hope Police Department, instructs defensive driving courses. And he does that for all staff members, but also puts this onto the community. And this is a great way to help get reduced rates on people who are 55 and older for their insurance plans. So if people are interested in that, I would certainly encourage them to go through New Hope Park and Rec and sign up for one of those courses. It's a 4-hour course, and Brad, great sense of humor, he makes it enjoyable.
Very good. Here's the city's website, newhopemn.gov, so you can find out more about Park and Rec phone numbers there and see some of that information about defensive driving. Also in the police department, just wanted to mention the ongoing regular calls. What are some of those regular numbers that you might see on a weekly basis, and how do you judge what's high, what's low, what's moderate?
Well, we go year over year usually,
Okay.
and obviously there's a lot of factors that play into that. Um, the week of January 30th to February 5th, police responded to 423 police calls for service, and those could be anything from my dog is barking to, we're having a domestic dispute to I don't feel well, I need to go to the hospital. I mean, they're every call you can imagine.
Mhm.
And we're right about where we should be as far as calls for service. And it's interesting because police are being asked to do more now than they ever have. And New Hope has been coming along very, very well at finding the different resources that can help free up some of their officers while providing even better and enhanced services to the public, such
Mhm.
as the embedded social worker,
Right.
the joint community police partnership, these things. And so, whereas our numbers are where they should be, the service that they're getting is even better.
Mhm.
And so hats off to the police department, Chief Hoyt for the forward thinking and being willing to try the new things. Those are two programs that have been absolutely stellar, and excited that they're here in New Hope.
Let's hop ahead to Public Works. One item to touch base on here, and this is something we're keeping residents up to date on. That's the water tower painting. What phase are we in right now of getting ready for this?
Well, we selected our uh, contractor who's going to be doing it. And so now they're meeting with the cities that are part of the Joint Water Commission Consortium and who is actually paying for this project. It's shared by all the cities. And we are making sure that the timeframes are going to be met because that has to come out of service for 13 weeks. And the interesting thing about this water tower is that this is one of the main hubs for all three cities.
Mhm.
So taking this down is problematic and does it could cause issues to the other cities as well. So we're making sure that all of the right bypasses are met and that everyone will be able to have water when they expect it in the cities
Mhm.
involved.
I can imagine a huge project. All right, let's head to Parks and Recreation, talk about some things that are going on. Always a busy place and
Yeah.
always some new opportunities. Tell us about some of the new classes that are coming around.
As diverse as our community is, um, so needs to be our services. And Park and Rec continues to hit the nail on the head. They have cake decorating classes. They have the 4-hour defensive driving classes. The basketball classes are very popular. And the adult Zumba classes begin this week. So you have everything from senior driving to Zumba. I mean, and
Mhm.
the cake decorating. It's just they continue to provide to all different sections of our community, and they do really, really quality programming. And again, if there's a class that we don't think, we're going to get enough people for a cake decorating class, they will work with the cities of Crystal and Robbinsdale to offer it out through there, and the other cities help pay for it. So it's really a neat mindset, and we work again so closely with the other two cities that the programming is quality. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, get out there and get involved, residents. Well, here are some pictures to show you about some work done by a group in the city of New Hope. And these pictures, if you look closely at the background, you might recognize this gym. This was quite an event. Who was out there and where were they?
The New Hope Dance Program had the opportunity to perform a dance routine at the Target Center
Mhm.
before the Minnesota Timberwolves game on Monday evening. This is the first time that we've done this type of an event, and the dancers and parents and families had just a phenomenal time. And again, the gymnastics program and the dance program are two of the really big programs that New Hope runs. And we get kids in from all over the metro because it's such a quality program. And so they got to go out and do this. We look forward to them being able to do this again. And just a neat time for all involved.
Yeah, congratulations to all the dancers. That had to be fun. A couple final notes as we look ahead to spring and summer, believe it or not. And we've got to talk about softball. We need to talk about safety camp and bike rodeo. So we're in either registration or planning stages, I understand.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head with that as well. Safety camp planning is underway. It's a 3-day event for kids. I believe it's third grade to fifth grade. We open it up to 75 youth, and they learn about all the different types of safety, whether it's electrical safety, water safety, stranger safety. I mean, it's all sorts of safety things,
Mhm.
and they make it a ton of fun. And when I was a New Hope police officer, I got to volunteer.
Neat.
And you go through your counselors at the safety camp are in shorts and t-shirts, and the very last day the kids come in for a graduation and barbecue,
Right.
and then we show up in our uniforms, and there's a
Nice.
firefighter, a police officer, and a Parks and Rec person on each
Mhm.
of the teams. And it's when we show up in our uniform that they realize that we, in fact, are police officers
Right.
or firefighters at Parks and Rec. It helps them see us as people, and it
Mhm.
helps them learn that we are just people. We're moms, we're dads, we're brothers, we're sisters, and it lets kids get to know us without being fearful
Yeah.
or whatever they bring with them as far as thought processes go. So
Mhm.
that's an exciting and a very fun program. Usually sells out every single year.
It is a big
We're
one.
we're doing planning for softball, and the leagues are now being formed,
Right.
and they're planning the bike rodeo again, which is a 3-city event.
Right.
Crystal, New Hope, and Robbinsdale. Golden Valley may be a part of it as well, I believe.
I think so.
Uh, and so we'll be doing that coming up probably in May, and that's a great event. Kids love coming out and playing around on their bikes and showing what they can do and doing the obstacle course and the whole deal. So they continue to work hard on those things at our Park and Rec.
And let's give you the website one more time. So if you want to find out exact dates of those fun events and maybe ways that you can get your kids signed up, newhopemn.gov is the place to go. Or you might want to get out and play a little softball yourself. Stick with us. We're going to take a look at some events coming up in the community in just a second. Mayor Elder, thanks so much for your time, and you have a great week. We'll talk to you again next week.
Dave, thank you so much.
For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.